aloe. Women have happy lives. Women have empty minds. Women have calm spirits. Women sleep well at night. This is for girls. Men don't. Every night I have nightmares. Every sleep is interrupted. All of them. I am stressed. I am anxious. I am worried all day, every single fucking day until the day I die. And because I absorb so much of that, the people around me don't have to feel that way. And that is what makes me gravitational. That is how you generate aura. That is how you make women want you. Women are out in the storm looking for a man who can shelter them. They're looking for a house. You must be the house which can take the hail, take the rain, take the snow, take the thunderstorm, take the lightning. When the tornado comes, you're still standing. That's what they're looking for. You email me saying, how do I get girls? Girls don't want to be with a fucking pussy. They want to say, if I give my life to this man, all of the suffering won't reach me. Yeah, he may fuck other women. Yeah, he may be out there doing whatever, but I know if I give my life to him, I don't have to suffer. And that is how you force the universe to capitulate and give you the win in the end. It is nothing but endless persistence. The world isn't fair. It is endless suffering. You are drowning. And eventually, when you really feel like you want to give up and you really feel like you want to quit, God is going to give you some air bubbles to lift you to the surface just long enough to get one more gasp of fucking air. And then you're going to go back down into the ocean. The dark, cold, deep black. And you're going to struggle to breathe for weeks, months, years. The difference between you and me is when I'm under there, when I'm in the water, I smile because I've learned to like it. If I can't change it, then why don't I like it? I think everything bad that happens to you as a man is designed to teach you lessons. I think that's why God gives them to you. You're never going to be a good man unless you've suffered. Good men have been through a lot of bad things, and you have to realize why she left or why your heart is broken so that you can change certain things and grow. This is why God puts you in jail or allows you to lose a loved one or a heartbreak or a car crash, anything else. Because life as a man is pain and suffering. And when I say that, because you're never going to be a good man or good at being a man without pain and suffering. You're going to have to go through a bunch of shit and have a terrible life to become a good man. I think you should embrace that and accept it. And I think that the correct mental model for men to have is a degree of stoicism and not to be too concerned with even how they feel. The world as a man is only ever going to be 95% drowning. You're going to be underwater, struggling to breathe, drowning. And you know what God does? You know what the universe does? When you're just about to black out, when it's all over, he'll rise you to the top. Air bubbles will appear out of nowhere, and something will float you to the top just long enough for you to breathe again. Not to enjoy the beautiful, serene sunshine, not to be rescued, not to make it to dry land. No, for you to splutter, to spit out the water, to get another breath, and then you're back down in the water, over and over and over. That is the constant, endless experience of being a man. As a man, 99% of the time, you're going to be stressed or annoyed about something that's just happened, currently happening, or about to happen. That's life. We live constantly anxious. We have a lot of things to do. And you either suffer the consequence of the stress it requires to be a somebody, or you suffer the consequence of having no stress because you're a fucking nobody and you work in Starbucks and then you're a no one. Yeah. There's no escape the eternal suffering of man. But I think that putting a man through some stress and putting him through some tests and allow him to prove his worth and get him confident, he'll be okay anyway. I think that as a man, there's always going to be a degree of pain and suffering in your journey. I don't think you're ever going to become a successful man or be good at being a man without pain and suffering. And there's many times in my life where something terrible happened to me, and at the time, if I could change it, I would have. But retrospectively, you kind of look back and go, you know what, that was formulative for me. That's right. That is what God decided I needed to become who I became. So all of the pain and all the suffering I've ever gone through in my life ended up, in the end, building me into the person I am, and I'm proud of who I am. It all comes down to who you are as a man. The only answer is masculine excellence. There's nothing you can do besides hard work, accept the trauma and pain and suffering, and work harder than everyone else around you worked. The true measure of man is how well he can suffer. The problem with women is that they cannot suffer gracefully. If you have a family, household, and the man is unhappy because he has a sexless marriage and his children don't respect him, he'll still get up every day, he'll go to work, he'll hide his misery, he'll pay the bills. He will suffer gracefully for the betterment of his family. Women can't do that. When a woman is unhappy, the whole house must be unhappy. Her man must be unhappy. Her children must be unhappy. They cannot suffer gracefully. Men can. If you wake up and say, I don't care how happy I am, I want to be proud of myself, and I want to make other people proud of me, so I have to do all these things irregardless of how I feel, you're going to have a fantastic life. To get long-term happiness is something that's only going to come from dedication and hard work, which requires short-term suffering. It's just delayed. So if you're dedicating yourself and working hard for the future happiness, especially considering the fact that most people are never happy with what they get and you always want more, your life just becomes hard work and dedication and struggle and suffering, and that's what you just exist within, and you don't operate under the paradigm of happy or sad. To me, it's quite binary. It's not a scale of how happy am I. It's just, has something terrible happened today? Am I distraught? No, then I'm happy. It's almost like there's no such thing as cold. It's just an absence of heat. In space, there's no cold. There's just heat or there's no heat. Well, if there's no despair, heaven forbid a family member dies, if there's no despair, then there's only happiness left. But to me, happiness isn't the giddish, smiling, look at me, I'm happy. That's for children and women. And as a man, truthfully, you get your contentment. I wouldn't even say happiness, but you achieve your contentment through making others happy. I feel content when my children are happy. I feel content when I make my woman happy. I get more from giving than receiving. That's why Christmas is set up the way it is and dad never gets anything. We give. We go to work, we struggle, we make money, we suffer so others can be happy because of us. But you get to a point where you start to realize after a while, you look around you and go, people get what they deserve to some degree. There is some form of cosmic karmic justice. When I meet the kids and people I went to school with who are the same age as me, from the same terrible background I'm from, and they have these same shit lives, I refuse to believe that their own decisions didn't keep them there. Yeah. You're in the same town, in the same area, smoking weed with no fucking money. We went to the same school. I'm one of the most known people on the planet with hundreds of millions. You have fuck all. You cannot sit here and tell me that your own decisions had no part to play in this. Yeah. Of course it did. When people say, I'm feeling really down and it's really difficult right now and I don't see it ever getting better, it's going to get better. And you need to remember those times because you're actually, as crazy as it sounds, going to think back on them fondly at some point. Because you must understand, 50% of people are stupid. If the average is the average, at least half the people you meet are below the average. So as a man, if you want to say, I love my wife, I love my children, I love my friends, I love the world, you can only have a love that is valuable if you're competent and you're capable, and you're only going to have that if you suffer. So if you want to have the ability to love other people, if I want to be a person who can wake up and realize I truly love my children, I truly love my woman, then the only way I can do that is to suffer enough to be a man whose love has value. If I wake up and say, I truly love the people I care about, but I want to be happy, so I'm going to go and sit in the field and take mushrooms and be a dumbass, well, then my love is completely valueless, because when they call me and say, there's a problem, Andrew, you love me, fix it, I'm going to say, I can't. And men are nothing but success objects. We are valued by what we can do. We are competency objects. Men are, what can he do? What is he good at? That's all we're measured on, is our capability. I think happiness is the easiest way to destroy your own capability because you're too busy doing dumb shit. Life is not about how hard you can hit. It's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. It's how many punches you can take and keep moving forward. It's very difficult as life as a man. You don't get to just get pussy. You got to be a G. You got to get out there and you got to make yourself. You got to do it. It's not easy. It's very, very hard. Mm-hmm. I've been telling the truth about these things because I like the stress. I like the constant competition. I like the pressure. That's why my testosterone level's high. I work all the fucking time. The reason I work so much is because it makes me feel invigorated. You're not going to war. You're not combative. You're not training. You're not fighting. You're not talking about fighting. You're not under enough pressure or stress because you're not working. I'm not saying you have to like it. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying I don't wish it was different, but I will tell you that I have learned the only skill that matters on this planet is endless persistence, stubbornness. You need to build your entire life based on this knowledge. The girl you're with, if she is not prepared to love you as you suffer, then you don't need her. Any woman will be your girlfriend when things are good. Any chick on the planet will be your girlfriend when you're in Saint-Tropez with a Lamborghini in a mansion. You think you're winning because you got a couple fucking bimbos around you while you spend money on them? You think you're winning? Who's gonna be your girlfriend when you're rotting in a fucking jail cell? Who's gonna be your girlfriend when you're recovering from a stab wound? Who's gonna do that for you? The only person who's gonna do that for you is someone who has watched you suffer for so long for their benefit. They have had such a fantastic life for so many years because you have struggled while they didn't, that they finally feel, even in the deeply ungrateful female psyche, they finally feel like they owe you. That's it. You're never gonna have loyalty around you unless you build your life based on the fact that I am suffering so endlessly that when it comes to time to call the debt, people are gonna pay me. The things I believe and the way I view the world and the mindset I've adopted has been created to be the most effective version of a mindset which is gonna allow me to perform. It's like the software you install within yourself. I've installed an operating system which allows me to perform at the absolute highest levels. You have two choices as a man. You either realize the truth about reality and understand how the matrix is suppressing you and affecting your mind. You either wake up and you are now in battle against the matrix itself, or you accept the programming. When you accept the programming, the battle doesn't end because now you're in a battle against your own mind. If you believe the shit they want you to believe, you're unhappy, you're depressed, you're miserable. So you're either fighting against yourself inside of your own mind, living in some semi-depressed state, sitting on the internet fucking talking complete bullshit in these liberal hate mobs, or you understand the truth about what's happening and you're in the war against the matrix. You can't escape this fight. Everybody watching this is in this fight. I'm in this fight. You're in this fight. We're all in this fight. Yeah. The war is here. When the battle turns up at your front fucking door, you can't just cower. Someone has to fight. So yeah, maybe I'm at the front, but I'm also in a unique position to handle that. One, because of the stress. Second, because of the finances. Third, because I'm hard to hurt. So I feel like it's my duty to God. I'm not going to sit here and tell people, listen, accept the bullshit they want you to believe. Stay at home, semi-depressed, take your Adderall, be a little fucking dork, and then the matrix is going to be happy with you, because there's no happiness in that. You can't avoid this battle. You're just going to end up in a battle with your own fucking head. You're going to have to fight. To all the men watching this, you are going to fight somebody at some point, either the matrix or your fucking self. Choose. I refuse to turn on myself. I'm not going to be the guy who turns on myself and makes an enemy out of my own fucking mind. No, sir. Me and every single thing inside of me is on the same team. And when the enemy appears, then it's on. If it's on, it's on. That's the game. You have to really understand why you're trying to be so successful as a man. I think all of us as men, if we're honest with ourselves, are driven by this huge sense of ego. I think that we want to feel important and we want others to see us as important. And I think if you use that energy in the correct direction, it can actually be an extremely powerful thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, I want everyone to view me as a competent, important, smart, successful man. I think that's a great thing. But then you get to a point and you have to really work out, what did you want all of the success for? Did you really want the cars? Did you really want all the women? But did you really want all of these things? Or what is going to be the end goal of all of this success? And I think that's why it's so important at a certain level, a certain amount of money, certainly a certain age, that you do have a family, because it grinds you. It grounds you, and it says to you, it reminds you what's actually important in the world. And you go, you know what? The best thing about having all of this money is that I get to take care of my family. Everything is so fast all the time, and that means that everybody wants everything fast. And unfortunately, as you know, even better than me, it's hard to get anything of value immediately. No. Anything that comes immediately is kind of scary. If I walked in here and you said, here, Andrew, nice to meet you, here's $1 million. I'd think, is he going to shoot me in the parking lot? What did he give me $1 million for? What is this immediate money from? You know, so immediate things often are a trap if they arrive at all. And everyone's constantly trying to find the quickest avenue to what they want. And I think that's leading to a lot of bad decisions. The world doesn't work that way. Life is a tally, and it's a tally of who loses the most. The more times you flip the coin, the more likely you are to get heads. Over and over and over. That's all it is. 10 million coin flips over and over. 9,999,000 losses. It doesn't matter. Eventually, heads comes up. Stop hoping for an easy life. Stop complaining you lack dedication and motivation. How can you lack dedication when you're fucking drowning? How can you lack motivation when you can't breathe? Maybe you have it too comfortable. Or maybe you're just born to lose. Maybe you should drown. Maybe you're a piece of shit. Maybe you're fucking scum. Maybe your ancestors struggled against saber-toothed tigers, only for you to be born 10,000 years later so that the second something difficult happens to you, you can piss your pants and cry. Maybe that's why all of your ancestry died in wars, struggled to find food, struggled to build shelter so that you could eventually be born, and in the year 2026, when you lose a bit of money on fucking Bitcoin, or some whore who was fucked by men before you eventually runs off to fuck someone else, you can sit at home, feel sad for yourself, and give up. Maybe that's why all your ancestors struggled all day, every fucking day, so that you could disgrace your bloodline. Maybe that's what you're here for. Maybe you are here to lose, but I'm not. I'm here to win. Everything in life that is valuable must be earned. Peace of mind must be earned. Happiness must be earned. I'm happy because I earn it. I get to be top G. Of course I'm fucking happy. I'm me. When I look at the lives of people who tell me they're depressed, I look at them and think, you know what? If I was you, I'd be fucking depressed. Because your life is shit.
But whose fault is that?
Yeah.
That you have to take some personal responsibility for it. And what they'll do is they'll try and outsource it. Well, I had a bad star, or this happened to me, that happened to me. World ain't fair. Suck it up, buttercup. Shit happens to everybody. I could sit here and be an unsuccessful piece of shit, and I got 10 stories to tell you why I have excuses to do exactly that. And here I am, Top G. So that's life. That's life. You have to get shit done.
This new mind, this new think of, I'm this person, and I'm not that interested in having kids, but if I do have kids, they don't have to be